What would you do if the person you trusted most stole your life's work and got away with it for years? For Ethan Carter, this wasn't a hypothetical. It was his reality, a slow-burning wound that festered in the quiet moments of his life. At 30, Ethan was a man of modest dreams, content with the steady rhythm of his remote job as a freelance data analyst. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid $4,500 a month, enough to keep his small apartment, support his aging mother, and save for a future he hoped would include a family of his own. That job was his anchor until his brother, Nathan, ripped it away. Ethan and Nathan grew up as close as brothers could be, sharing secrets, dreams, and a cramped bedroom in their childhood home in Portland. Ethan, the older by 2 years, was the responsible one, always looking out for Nathan, who had a knack for charm and a habit of cutting corners. When Ethan landed the remote job through a friend's referral, he felt a quiet pride. He built something stable, something his. Nathan, meanwhile, drifted between odd jobs, his charisma often outpacing his work ethic. Ethan didn't mind helping him out paying for Nathan's rent here, covering a car repair there. Family was family, after all. The betrayal began subtly, like a crack in a foundation you don't notice until the house starts to lean. Ethan had shared his work laptop with Nathan during a visit, showing him the ropes of data analysis, hoping to inspire his brother to find his own path. Nathan seemed eager, asking questions, taking notes. Ethan thought he was planting a seed. Instead, Nathan was harvesting. One morning, Ethan logged into his work portal to find his credentials rejected. Incorrect password. The screen blinked. He reset it, assuming a glitch, but the next day, his largest client a tech startup mailed him, confused about why he'd missed a deadline. Ethan hadn't missed anything. Panic crept in as he checked his project management dashboard. Tasks he'd never seen were marked as completed under his name, others reassigned. His clients were communicating with someone using his account. Weeks turned into months as Ethan scrambled to regain control. He contacted clients who were baffled, insisting they'd been in touch with Ethan all along. His income dwindled as projects vanished. He took on odd jobs driving for ride shares, tutoring high schoolers to keep the lights on. His mother, unaware of the rift, kept praising Nathan's sudden success in landing a remote job of his own. Ethan's suspicions grew, but he couldn't bring himself to accuse his brother. Not yet. The twist came unexpectedly, not from Nathan, but from a stranger named Lila, a barista at Ethan's favorite coffee shop. She was a bright, observant woman in her mid-20s, with a sharp wit and a knack for remembering customer stories. Ethan, drained from months of financial strain, confided in her one rainy afternoon over a latte. He mentioned his lost job, the strange account issues, and his brother's sudden prosperity. Lila's eyes narrowed. "Wait," she said, pulling out her phone. "I know a guy who's good with tech. Let me ask him something." Lila's friend, a freelance cybersecurity analyst named Marcus, agreed to take a look. Within days, he uncovered a trail of digital breadcrumbs. Nathan had duplicated Ethan's work accounts, rerouting emails and client communications to himself. He'd been posing as Ethan for nearly 2 years, pocketing the $4,500 monthly payments while Ethan struggled. Marcus found IP logs, timestamps, even a careless screenshot Nathan had sent to a client from his own phone, revealing his identity. The evidence was ironclad. Ethan's heart sank. The brother he'd protected, shared with, loved, had built a life on his stolen labor. But confronting Nathan wasn't enough. Ethan needed to understand why, and he needed to reclaim what was his. The confrontation happened at Nathan's sleek new apartment, paid for with Ethan's earnings. Nathan's wife, Sarah, answered the door, her smile warm but strained. She'd always been kind to Ethan, treating him like family even after she and Nathan married 3 years ago. Ethan hadn't wanted to involve her, but Marcus had insisted. If she's in the dark, she deserves to know. Ethan laid out the evidence printouts, screenshots, logs. Nathan's face paled, his usual charm replaced by stammering excuses. It was just temporary, he claimed. I was going to tell you. Sarah's reaction was the real turning point. She stood frozen, her eyes darting between the brothers. You told me you earned this, she whispered, her voice breaking. You said you built this life for us. Nathan reached for her, but she stepped back, clutching the evidence. Sarah wasn't just hurt, she was furious. She'd been complicit in a lie, unknowingly living off Ethan's stolen work. Her gaze turned to Ethan, softening with guilt. I didn't know, she said. I swear I didn't know. What followed wasn't just about justice, it was about rebuilding. Sarah insisted Nathan return every cent he'd taken, even if it meant selling their car, their furniture, their dreams. She filed for divorce, not out of spite, but because she couldn't live with someone who'd betrayed family so deeply. Ethan, though, didn't want revenge. He wanted his life back. With Marcus's help, he recovered his accounts, contacted his clients, and explained the truth. Most were sympathetic, some even impressed by his resilience, and slowly the work trickled back. But the real healing came from an unexpected place. Sarah, now separated, reached out to Ethan months later. She'd started volunteering at a local nonprofit, helping people who'd been scammed or exploited. I needed to make something right, she told him over coffee, her eyes bright with purpose. She asked Ethan to join her, to share his story, to help others avoid the pain he'd endured. At first, he hesitated. His trust in people was battered, but Sarah's sincerity, her own journey through betrayal, stirred something in him. Together, they built a small community program, teaching digital literacy and fraud prevention. Ethan found purpose in the work, a way to transform his pain into something meaningful. He and Sarah grew close, not romantically, but as partners in a shared mission. Nathan, meanwhile, faded into the background, his charm no longer enough to salvage his mistakes. Years later, Ethan stood at a podium, speaking to a room of people about protecting their livelihoods in a digital age. He didn't mention Nathan's name, but the weight of that betrayal lingered in his words. Trust is fragile, he said, his voice steady but thick with emotion. But so is despair. You can rebuild from either. In the audience, Sarah smiled, her eyes reflecting pride and a shared understanding. Ethan had lost a brother, but he'd gained something greater, a purpose, a community, and a truth that no one could steal. The $4,500 a month was just money. What Nathan took was trust, time, and a piece of Ethan's heart. But in the end, Ethan reclaimed more than his Job reclaimed himself. And Sarah, who saw the truth, became the unexpected ally who helped him find his way.